Hey everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, Miss Aviona. And finally, I had get to have the guts to create this YouTube video again. And coming back is just so overwhelming for me because I've been very much busy with a lot of stuff going on in my life, and I'm just grateful for all those people who still comment on my YouTube channel. I probably think there's a lot of you are still wondering what's going on in my life, but that besides the point. And I am just keen of putting my hands onto it again and be back. Now today's video, it's all about getting a license in Pennsylvania. It so happened that one of the YouTube viewer on my channel had seen my YouTube and asked if I would be able to cover Pennsylvania licensure process and application. And I think I can because I used to be a licensed physical therapist in Pennsylvania. For whatever reason, I never pushed through with it because of company, you know, they always want you to be where the money is. So I went through and proceed with my Wisconsin license. But so much for that. Today is what we're just focusing more is Pennsylvania licensure application. And I guess as you have known, if you haven't seen my previous video, I started with credentialing, and if you can click on this link below above me you will see that I've also talked about the accrediting body that accredit, or like review all the foreign schools. That is it just exactly the same as the US curriculum. So they're comparing, and if you have lack of subjects, they will ask you to take some of these subjects so that it will be equal to the curriculum here in the US. And I also talk about FSBPT, and it's a foreign credentialing for people who are ready and already had met the requirements of equivalency of PT here in the US and PT in the foreign country. If you've met that, finally you can have the authorization to test, to take the examination of their state board, and that is FSBPT. So we're still going back to FSBPT, and I will teach you how to get to it, and more likely what's the importance of FSBPT. Because the importance of FSBPT, there's a lot of ways you can get into FSBPT. They are the licensing board for every state, so they have covered every state, and they are the one who are getting ready for you to answer their questions in the back of questions that taking these examinations could be really hard. But of course these examinations will sharpen your skills as a physical therapist, and this is more application, physical therapy application, how you would be a physical therapist while you're on each setting. So which is good. But yes, they are also a board that will provide examinations, and I think it's very important to look into them because they also had linked to all the licensing board to all the 50 states. So without any further ado, let's begin. Hi everyone, welcome back to Miss Aviona, and now you're here on fsbpt.org. And before we begin, please don't forget to subscribe on my YouTube channel for further information about physical therapy application. Now, you are here on fsbpt.org, which stands for the Federation of State Boards of Physical Therapy, which will help you further learn about physical therapy, and they promote safety and competence of foreign trained, and not only foreign trained, for those trained physical therapists here in the US, they are the one who provide examination and gauge how you learned your physical therapy here in the US and also abroad. So
this, what you can see here, are already overwhelming for you. But what I need you to do, if you applied for a state license anywhere else in the state, you just have to scroll all the way down and you will see 3 categories here. Almost all the way down. You have 3 categories here. We have publications, top resources, and top services. What I needed you to focus on are these 4 things. Under the top resources, the 4 things under the top resources is the Physical Therapy Licensure Compact, the Licensing Authority Contact Information, Licensure Reference Guide, and the NPTE Pass Rate Reports. Now, all of these are very important. However, you also, since you are applying for state licensure in Pennsylvania, you only have to click on the Licensing Authority Contact Information. And when you click on it, what will you see are the following: the licensing authorities contact information, and these are the quick access to the member boards, their website, their Practice Act. So this is all the way starting from Alabama all the way down to Wyoming. So as you can see here, and since we're going for Pennsylvania, we will just go through Pennsylvania here and click on the Practice Act. So when you finally click on the Practice Act, what you will see is the website for all for the Pennsylvania government website. Now, on top, you will see business and charities, professional licensing, voting, elections, state athletics, and all that. But that's not one thing that you need. All you need to do is to go to PA licensing system, or it stands for PALS, Pennsylvania Licensing System. So you see here Votes PA, election security, campaign finance, Keystone login, file business forms, etc. But what I just need you to focus on is the PA licensing system, or the PALS. So when you click on that, you will see here a link to the entirety of regulatory suspensions, their news, and whatnot. But I don't want you to focus on that. What I need you to do is to go here to the left side that says Application Checklist. So the application checklist will be a guide, as a good starting point for you to begin all of your requirements needed and documents to apply for a license. So we're going to click on this, Board and Commission. So we're going to go to the drop down of physical therapy, state of physical therapy, and license type is, of course, physical therapist. Now, did you graduate from a physical therapist program accredited by the CAPTE or the Commission on the Accreditation of Physical Therapy Education? So there are people who also, like looking for accreditation using the CAPTE. This is not only like FCCPT, or it's not only CAPTE, but there's also more. And I'm willing to talk about the differences between these individuals or institutions. So you would say no. And for me, I'm also a no, because I'm a foreign trained physical therapist. I'm originally from the Philippines. As you can see, if you would like to go on to the very bottom of this video, of my first video blog, you will see that I'm from the Philippines. Now, we'll click on next. Do you hold a license to practice as a physical therapist in another U.S. state or territory in another country? So back then, I already have a license in the Philippines as a physical therapist and a license in Illinois, because I started in Illinois before I head off and plan to go to PA. But eventually, I decided to go for Wisconsin instead of PA. Now, what you will go here is you would click on yes, and you click next. Now, these are the checklists that you will see. The application, so you need to complete it within the 6 months before they will or else they will just renew and update everything for you. So you have to redo them again. So within the 6 months of your application, you need to complete everything that they ask for, everything that's on this checklist. Okay, take note of that. The application fee is $45, and they also have a continuing education child abuse, which you will be provided on the link once you applied and paid for $45 application fee, if I'm not mistaken. So back then it was free. Don't quote me on this. Maybe they will ask you to pay another continuing education, or like maybe another fee for it, but who knows. And criminal history check for the Philippines, what I did was we had police clearance before we left the US. We need to have a police clearance, and that's one of the things I sent it to them. It's an original copy and I sent it to them, and you should be having that before coming here to the US to make sure that you're all you don't have any criminal history and all that, because they don't want that. They want to make sure that it's all law-abiding citizen that will apply to their state. So data bank report. This is for you to provide an official notification of information or self-query from the National Practitioner Data Bank. Please refer to the NPDB website for additional information, because for me, when I applied, I have never had this experience like data bank report. I only have criminal history check and stuff like that. But if I did this process, I wouldn't even remember, because this is just like too much to remember. Exam results, what you will do is you have your account when you are already a license, or when you already passed the NPT examination, you send it all the way directly to the licensing board of the PA, and then the Foreign Education Evaluation, which is your FCCPT, to send it all the way directly to the Pennsylvania board. And on top of that, the letter of good standing, if you have a board examiner on like a board institution, just like they do have here, you would ask them for a letter of good standing. But if you don't, you can ask it from your school, because I think for some country, they don't have any licensing board from a specific board institution. I think I remember there is this one person who asked me, we don't have boards for physical therapy here in our country. I forgot the country even. So I said, like, I don't know. I never bothered to ask which country they had their physical therapy, or that they took their physical therapy. So yeah. And resume and curriculum vitae, these are things that I think you can follow through. Just write down the date and the timeline where you start working, from the day you work, and from the time you study, from the day you pass, and all that stuff. They needed this, and I think this is the entirety of the history of your career, or like your work experience. I wish I could cover this up sometime soon, but all in all, these are all good points. Now let's go back to the application checklist to see what if we will say physical therapy here, and then we would say physical therapist, of course, and we would say no, or foreign trained. And then do you hold a license to practice as physical therapist in another state? I would say no. And the walkthrough will say, based upon your response, you are not eligible to apply now. Please contact the board for more information. So these are things that are very, very important. And I would like you to take an opportunity to use this, so that you will be able to go through it and, like, oh, I'm ready for this. And this is really something I'm really glad of doing. There's also one question that I've received from the comment down on my YouTube channel. They said that they don't need TOEFL. Even if they do need TOEFL, you have already a TOEFL score on your FCCPT. So what you will do is, from the TOEFL score from the FCCPT, you can send it directly to the PA board if they need one. There are also two states that I know that they were not asking for TOEFL: PA, Pennsylvania, and Delaware. They don't need TOEFL. So it's really good to know about this stuff, because for instance, if you already took the TOEFL and you basically don't want to take the TOEFL again, you can always go to state of Delaware to get your license, and from that license you accredit to a different license. But however, during those times, once you start practicing as a physical therapist in Delaware, you probably would enjoy it and, you know, like save money and take TOEFL again. That's how I do it. All right. Thank you so much. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Now, if you did enjoy this video, please hit like and subscribe to my channel. And I hope to hear from you soon. Bye. Thank you.